I wish I'd kind of had a bit more of a business plan. I wish that I'd sat down and spoken to somebody about, okay, so how are you going to finance this?
Right.
You know, what money are you going to live on while you're doing this? Because the way I did it, it's not impossible, but it was hard. I think it was harder than it needed to be.
Yes.
And I think if I'd sat down and properly, you know, even if I'd known what a business plan was, that would have been helpful.
Yes.
And I'd just planned things a little bit better. I'd say that's probably my only regret, is that I went into it. And I suppose the trouble is, you don't know what you don't know, do you? I mean, that's me looking back now,
right,
knowing how to run a business and how to start a business. But I didn't at the time, so it's pie in the sky stuff anyway. But I think, a bit of capital behind me, a bit more of a structured plan would have been helpful. And that's the advice that I would give to other people. You know, you don't have to have millions in the bank. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have a rigid, 1 to 1,000 questions answered with every possible outcome plan, but general bit of support and a bit of a plan and a bit of capital behind you. But no, I don't regret it. I think it was a good move. I've met some amazing people, and it's benefited me as a person, and I think it'll, in lots of ways, it's benefited us as a family. So, and I love my clients as well. Like, I've kind of almost forgotten what that feels like, and you'll probably be the same. Like, to get back to being in clinic and actually seeing my clients, which are the heart of. It sounds a bit, but they're at the heart of everything that I do. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
I love that. I love, a lot of them have become my friends. There's loads of banter. There's loads of laughs.
Yeah. That's the last thing, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really enjoyable. What I do is actually really, really enjoyable. Hard work, really hard work, but real cool fun. So
yeah, it's good. Talking about planning. I mean, that's obviously what I'm hoping to kind of have in place here is somewhere that people can kind of work through a plan and get some support and bounce ideas around and that kind of thing. Because I think, like you, I probably was pretty planless, and I think most people that I see that don't really make it is the same problem. So yeah, it's good to hear you say that. What else near the end? What do you think is the key skill from nursing that's provided the most value in your business?
Bit
of a tricky one.
But probably quite a lot. I think one of the things that society has wrong about nurses is, if you're a nurse, they see a nurse.
Right.
Do you know? And so if you're like, I want to do this, they go, yeah, but you're a nurse.
Right.
So just go be a nurse.
Yeah.
They can't see that actually through, having been a sister in an A&E department, like, I can make decisions under pressure.
Yeah.
I can handle huge amounts of pressure.
Yeah.
I've got, communication skills.
Yeah.
Compassion skills, decision making. I've got IT skills that I've learned through nursing.
Yeah.
Just the organising, the plate spinning.
Yeah.
Probably comes element of nursing is unpredictable. Being able to cope in that kind of seat of your pants kind of shit. This is happening right now. Now I've got to go and do that. So that adaptability has probably come from nursing. And my tenacity and my, determination. I think all of those things. I mean, obviously some of it will be part of my personality, but there are so many transferable skills in nurses that just aren't recognised by other people. You say I'm a nurse. I've got incredible IT skills. What? You're a nurse.
Yeah.
Well, actually, most wards and most departments these days, they don't even have paper. Like, everything's done on computer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that nursing brought me probably, it either brought me or refined every kind of skill that I've got, and I don't think anything hasn't been used.
Yeah.
In my business, I think it's all been transferred across and has provided. Me with a skill or a skill set that's enabled me to do what I do. And it does frustrate me a little bit when, people can't see that in nursing. They're probably one of the professions with the broadest range of skills out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything. I brought everything across.
I absolutely love that answer, because that, again, is kind of what's driving entrepreneurs, because that's exactly how I feel, that nurses have so many skills that they don't even see some of the times. Like, some people say to me, well, what would I be able to do? And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, exactly what you've just said. All of the situations that we find ourselves in that we just have to deal with, like bits of equipment not working, you've just got to fix it. You've got to be able to talk to the, you know, the highest senior consultant. You've got to be able to talk to, you know, it's like everything and everyone, and get on with it and manage and organise and make things work, and and like you say, IT and teaching and management and HR. It's like we are a little machine that can do everything, and so business is like, look, if anyone can do it, we can. So I love that answer, and I love that you feel that, and that you feel that, you know, you've brought everything into business that you've learned in nursing. Because I really that really resonates a lot with me. I think that's exactly how I feel about it. And the thing about like, oh, but you're a nurse. I kind of, I've got to a point now where I quite like that. I feel like you're underestimated. And I don't mind that, because I quite like surprising people. You think I'm this little nurse, but actually, you know, there's a lot more going on than you realise. But there is that kind of, you know, oh, well done, you're lovely, aren't you? Off you go.
And I don't know if you've ever found it, but there is an element of, you know, people say, oh, you know, why did you leave nursing, or why did you come away from nursing, or and I say, I'm still a nurse.
Yes, all the time.
I'm still a nurse, 100%. And it's that perception that because you're not in blue, in a hospital, on a ward, then you're not a nurse, or you're not a proper nurse, or and I get that a lot. And I think a lot of us, there's a loyalty to nurse.
Absolutely.
There's a loyalty to that stereotype as well. That I think nurses sometimes struggle to leave that behind. We want that, you know, there's an element of, you want to look like a proper nurse, you want to behave like a proper nurse, and actually, if I go away from that, you know, will people respect me as much, or will people think as much of me?
Totally.
There's big psychology behind that as well. But I always people, you know, I am a nurse. I'm still very much a nurse, and you can see them kind of go, right. But
I agree. And there's huge issues around, as you say, loyalty and guilt and all of those kind of things. And it's not even just from people externally, but also I think from other nurses as well. There can be a sort of you know, you're not actually really, and not even just in aesthetics, but I think, you know, when there are certain nurses that are more nursey than other nurses, and I can remember when I went into general practice there, it was the same sort of same kind of attitude from some people. Oh, you're just doing the 9 to 5, just sort of, you know, It's like, actually, you know. So it's interesting that there's a lot of perceptions and judgments, guilt, loyalties. That's such a good word. We are very loyal as a profession, which I think is a great quality, but also it can hold you back in the wrong sort of way, can't it? In the wrong context.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep you places you don't want to be.
Right, we're nearly there. What else have we got? So, last question, in fact, because we've really covered everything else. And again, I think you've sort of touched on these, but just to end on a kind of a positive, what would you say, what values has setting up your own business kind of added to your life generally? how's it brought any added value to your life? If you were saying to someone, a nurse, you should think about setting up a business, why? Because what's it done for you?
It's been very empowering. You know, my life was very, very difficult trying to work shifts around childcare. And my biggest drive really for going into this was financial stability and some control over my life. I mean, one of the things that nursing still doesn't seem to have a grip on is off duty. You know, you speak to a paramedic or you speak to a police officer, they know what they're doing, like, for months on end. And you know, I remember being in nursing and saying, well, I need to know what I'm working. And you know, I'd have 2 weeks of shifts, and then I'd be expected to kind of like plan my life around that. And I'd be there. You know, Jasmine was in nursery. I'd have the nursery request hours in one hand. I'd have the wraparound after school care. What my ex-husband was doing in another hand. I'd have 3 different phones, like phoning people. Can you help me here? Can you do? So it was very empowering to just say, right, this doesn't serve me anymore, and this is not good for me. This is not good for my children, and I'm gonna have the strength to walk away. You know, despite what we just talked about, that loyalty and that passion and that feeling of like, am I walking away from something that I shouldn't be? So I feel very empowered that I had the guts. You know, I had the courage to make a change to my life, to try and make it better. And in some ways, like I say, I've almost made myself busier, but that busyness, I've got control of it. You know, if I need to close my clinic because my kids have got a pantomime or, you know, a show or something that I need to be at, you know, and I'm so lucky I've been to every assembly, I've been to every harvest festival, I've gone to every, you know, piano concert, and you know, like, so it's given me control of my time, and it works around my family doesn't work around it. So I love that element of control. It's given me challenges which I've benefited from in terms of just self-belief, and you know, and I look back now and I think I can't believe what I've achieved. So there's a real sense of pride and accomplishment, and it's given me that sort of freedom of choice, really, which was so important. And it's incredible to say to somebody, you know, I run my own business. You know, I'm incredibly proud of that. So I think that the value of it is everywhere. You know, if you do it for the right reasons, and if it's the right choice for you. I mean, obviously people set up businesses and it goes horribly wrong. I mean, I don't think any of us can shy away from so many go under, particularly small businesses. You know, I don't think that you know, COVID aside, I mean, obviously with COVID it's horrendous, but you know, it's a hard climate to be in. It's a fairly harsh economic climate, and small businesses struggle. But if you can do it and you can nail it, then there's so much value in that. And I think that for me, just gaining control of this is going to work for my family. You know, not the other way around. Therefore, stress. You know, stress is much less. I don't feel as stressed, or if I do feel stressed, it's kind of in a different way. So lots of value, lots and lots of value, and it's something that if people, you know, if you are serious about it, then do it. You know, just grab hold of it, and you know, you cannot start a business without taking a risk. Just, you cannot obliterate the risk. But if it's something that's in you, and if it's been niggling away, if it's that seed that's been sown, and it's just you know, just do it. Maybe not now during COVID. Maybe just see how this all pans out.
Not tomorrow.
Don't go rushing out to start a business right now. I don't advocate that. But I think, you know, if that burning desire,
unless it's an online business.
You mean, yes, and in fact, actually, it just popped into my head that, you know, a lot of people talk about some of the biggest businesses have come out of recessions and things like that. So actually, you're right. You know, there might be something that this is the perfect time. You know, I don't have the imagination for it, but you're absolutely right.